I should have a Friday 13th poster on my door.
Well, I do want to say before we even get rolling, thank you so much for being here. I know we were trying to work it out for a couple weeks, and we're here. We got it going.
Well, I'm here. Good morning.
So I kind of just want to jump right into everything, and I want to know about the audition process for Friday the 13th Part 2. How did that go for you?
The audition process. Well, everybody is kind of, I guess, going to your local acting school. And in my case, it was in New York City, New York. I was at Lee Strasberg. Then you go through that. I did, luckily, get a great agent that was representing me. And they got the call, a casting breakdown for Friday the 13th. And so I suppose they had me in mind initially for, I guess, the role of Paul, the blonde haired counselor dude.
Yep.
And so I got submitted for that to the whole group. There was casting it for Georgetown Productions, and I don't know. Then they collected all the people that they liked for the various characters, in the casting, and then you meet the director. I met Steve Miner and the other team and Frank Mancuso. And then they decided they wanted to go with the other cat to play that lead counselor role. They didn't really know too much about the Jason role because Jason hadn't really hadn't really existed up until that point. Then they figured that I would be better to play the role of Jason.
So were you, when you got offered the role of Jason, was that something you were like excited about, or were you really hoping to do a counselor role, or like did that rattle you?
I didn't really know. Because I had nothing to base any history on. The only thing that I knew was that Jason come up out of the lake, at the end of the first movie. So I didn't really know. Yeah, here he comes out of the lake.
So you were setting the tone then. So when you played Jason, how did you get into a headspace of something that didn't exist before you?
Yeah, I didn't really know. And then I kept going through the script going, what are the lines of Jason? What's Jason going to say?
Yep. So,
and then I'm like, oh, well, he doesn't say too much. And then, I was young. And then I'm kind of looking at it going, oh, well, God, these are some serious stunts. I'm like, oh, Jesus, look at the stunts this guy's got to do. Oh, my God. No relationships, not a lot of dialogue, no love scene. He's not doing it. I didn't really know. And, when you're young, you're excited to get any part. So if you have a whole team of producers, directors, and they're all saying, hey, we want you to be this part. Are you willing to shave your head? Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to wear this type of, prosthetics? And are you willing to do it? And so as a young guy, you go, yeah, well, of course I'm ready. I'm willing to do it. Sure. How long do I need?
Yeah.
The budget at the time, the budget was $1 million.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that.
It was a 30-day shoot. They're spending about $35,000 a day, $1 million budget, which would be in today's dollars, probably $5 million.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, so you're kicking off the franchise with Jason as the killer, because we all know by now that in part 1 it wasn't him. So how long did it take you guys who were in the film to realize that it was a hit?
Oh, that's a good question. No one in the film had any idea. We didn't have dailies to look at because nothing was digital at that time, and they weren't really developing it and then coming up with prints and then involving the cast at all in the editing process. Mm-hmm. So we had no idea what it looked like. We didn't see it until it premiered. And then to answer your question, how would we know the franchise would be a hit? I didn't really think about it until I was on Good Morning America, and they lined up 6 Jasons. And there I'm meeting C.J. Graham after he debuted himself. And Friday 13th Part 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we're with the Good Morning America show. That's going to be fun. I ought to get that clip posted up on YouTube or on my websites or something. That would be funny. How the hell did we look back then? You know, yeah, it's kind of funny. I could actually show you something. I might have it here. I might have it. Yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, this is kind of fun. Look at this. They when People magazine started coming out with articles like, you know, who are all the Jasons? So you see, there's Ari Lehman, there's Richard Booker next to me, and there's Ted White. That's CJ Graham, I guess.
Yeah.
So when people started, you know, rolling out stories like who are all the Jasons today, then I recognized that it was a hit.
Okay.
The series, the franchise was a hit.
Yeah. So, I mean, the franchise had like a huge following as it was coming along, but then at some point, Jason became more popular than he's ever been. And I think even right now, that still holds true. He's more popular than ever. So when did you actually start to see that resurgence of Jason, especially the Sackhead Jason? Because a lot of people clung on to that as the one that kickstarted it all. So do you remember about when it started to become a big thing again for like the second time?
I tell you, after Part 6, you know, and then the thing is rolling, and then 7 comes. Now Kane Hodder starts making his voice known. So then you had 7, 8, 9. I mean, by the time you got up to Part 10, you were like, unbelievable. This thing is unstoppable. Then the toys start coming. Then Sideshow Collectibles comes up with a great collection of Jason dolls. They're like, oh. Then you start getting calls to make an appearance at a convention. I'd never done a convention before. I'd never even been to any before. I didn't really know.
Yeah.
So in San Diego, Paramount launches the DVD box set. So they had all the Jasons come to that. Now you're starting to recognize the following behind the brand if you go to a convention.
Yeah.
And then the fans come up to you. You're like, oh my God. I never heard of Comic-Con till I went there. I never heard of any of the big cons like Chiller. I never heard of it until they called me, wanted me to come over there. And so yeah, you get into 7, 8, 9, 10 range, then you're recognizing it. Oh wow, this brand is unstoppable.
So as an actor, did you become typecast as a horror actor at this point?
Not really. Most people, no. If it wasn't like Hollywood responded, you know, positively to this, Hollywood doesn't really care. You know, maybe the early guys like Kevin Bacon, it was in the first one. I don't know. Maybe that helped him. I don't know. But it's not like Hollywood sees you doing this, and then they're going to call you. And it wasn't like I was being promoted as being one of the big stunt people in Hollywood.
I see. So from Friday the 13th Part 2, if I remember this correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, you went on to do a movie called Time Walker.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Was that directly linked to you doing Friday?
No, I happen to know the producer, and he raised some money from a big arms dealer, Adnan Khashoggi. Some people may have heard of. He put up the money. My friend Dimitri Villard produced it, and I don't know. It was a sci-fi thriller. We shot it on the campus in, I don't know, Southern California college campus.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
it was just something, you know, and I'm telling you, when you're wearing your hat around and you're walking around with your 8x10 resume, you basically are doing anything you can. Anything that comes up, you jump on it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, you ended up doing, I believe it was called Penny Dreadful as well, right?
Yeah, that was another guy, my friend Brian Norton and Penny Dreadful, and we shot that in New York City, and I don't know, he needed a stockbroker, and I think I ended up killing myself, become crazy and killing himself. That was great. That was, yeah.
So you do have, you know, horror and thriller roles like under your belt. So after Jason, it did stay that way a little bit,
We're trying, and I'm not done yet. So who knows?
Right. So that kind of leads me into where I wanted to segue into this, because I believe the first part of what you have going on right now for Bloody Social, which I'll let you explain what that is a book release, and I'll kind of let you take it from there.
Oh, wow. Well, the first thing you got to understand is my father strangely, suddenly, mysteriously drops dead on Friday the 13th in Palm Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever in life you get a call that one of your parents just dropped dead, that's going to rock you pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say I took a step back. I examined all of the circumstantial evidence that followed in the wake of his death on Friday 13th. And I said, bullshit. No. He didn't have lunch and drop dead with his rich wife. She was a steel heiress, and she had a priest present. That's strange. Friday 13th. And when did he die? Oh, 2:30 in the afternoon at home. And then when did you call 911? 9:30? Right. She goes on a cruise with her new lover around the south of France after he'd been married to her 30 years. What? No. So they acted more abominably in the wake of his death until finally I lost all patience. I did pick up the phone. I called my buddy Richard Johnson at Page 6 and said, you know what? I think my stepmother killed my father, slipped him a Mickey, gave him a poison or something. He dies, and I'm going to make a screenplay in the wake of his death. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking, like, what am I going to call? What am I going to call? Well, I'm going to call it Bloody Social, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call it Bloody Social Murder in Palm Beach. And this time, Jason's going to be getting revenge over the death of his father, where in Friday 13th, he was getting revenge of the death of the mother. So here's the title. Okay, there's your character. He's going to be a sympathetic vigilante. You're going to love him, and he's getting revenge this time for the death of the father. So it's going to be Murder Palm Beach, and you see the Black Widow climbing up the O there. So if you could visualize Sharon Stone, Michelle Pfeiffer, or some lady like that, they're going to be the Black Widow, going to whack the husband, marry the Latin lover in the south of France, come home, and Jason, whom you love, this time he's going to be sympathetic vigilante, Hamlet-like, driven to get revenge of his father. And it'll be relevant. It'll be delivering messages that are current with the sign of our times now. What is the tone of this nation? Why are you rooting for Jason? What is he doing this time? Why am I rooting for him? Why do I like him? Love him. Let's go. All the conspirators will be loathsome. So in the journey to make a film, it's a hard hat to wear to make an indie film. I've learned that. So most of the time has been spent developing the screenplay, Could we get it right? Can we get it right? What's the story you're going to tell? And it's pretty compelling now. So it's, again, very difficult to make it an indie film. You finance it. Blood is thicker than money. Bloody Social, Murder in Palm Beach. And now I've made a choice and I've retained a big group behind me, and we're putting together a book, and we hope to launch it in the fall. Mm-hmm. And the book will be called Bloody Social.
So you decide to do the book, but you also did tell me that it will be a film as well.
It will be a film, so we're going to keep going that journey. Keep in mind now the estimated budget to make the film could be about $5 million. Mm-hmm. So maybe the book helps raise the money for the film, but we're going to stay on course with both of them. Maybe the book could really gain a lot of fanfare, and then that could definitely segue into making the indie film. Mm-hmm. I've got a contract where we believe this is going to be a bestseller on Amazon. So it's going to come on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble. It'll be 3 different formats: ebook, paperback, hardcover. I'll go across the United States doing signings. This thing is going to kick out.
And we're expected to see this in the fall of this year, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, the book's coming.
And then what do
And then I
we?
was telling you about there's an interesting, you can't just go raise money and valuable. There has to be some uh, structure and accountability when you're dealing with the public's money.
Mhm.
If you had 5 partners to say, fine, here's $5 million, go make your indie film, that's one thing. And that's solely really for accredited investors, people that could assume that kind of a loss. And you have a few backers, fine, go make your movie. There's another way of putting the money together. The government has launched what's called a regulation CF offering memorandum. Under the Reg CF, the government SEC has said you can raise up to $5 million. It's available to accredited investors, non-accredited. They can put in any amount they wanted. I think there's a limit if you're not accredited investor. And so I thought, wow, what a great concept to have Jason's fans own the movie.
Mhm.
and most of the people that come to me, you know, they're not wealthy. They're well, some are well-to-do, but they're people collect memorabilia. They buy machetes, they buy masks. They're normal folks like you and I. And so if somebody wanted to throw in 100, throw in 1,000, throw in 500, give them a signed machete, and they throw in some money, that family of people could be the owners and partners of Bloody Social. The movie, merchandising, the video game, the Xbox game, they could own it, which would be really cool, never been done before. And by the way, no actor that ever played Jason has come up with a concept to write a dramatic thriller novel. So we can discuss the fact that nothing's really been done since 2009 or 10 in the Friday the 13th franchise. Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham, the studios, they're all suing each other. So the brand has basically been put on hold. You're aware of that. Are you there? I lost you. Hmm.
The funding for the movie. And when can we expect to actually see the movie go into production? Unless it's in production already.
No. You have to. So yeah, we were discussing if you're going to raise money to be an indie film where you and your partners own the film, it has to be in a legal structure that will
Mhm.
allow you to go out and deal with the public's money.
Mhm.
Now you might have a limited partnership and go find 3 or 4 or 5 partners. That's fine if you can do that. Let's say you don't have 5 neighbors that are all going to give you $1 million each, and now you got
Mhm.
your big budget for your indie film. Let's say you don't have that. Now you have to find out what structure could I participate in where it is legal for me to go deal with the public's money.
Mhm.
And we're not going to back into a shell and do some, a pump and dump scheme of stock. No. But the SEC has launched a new project to help young companies get started, no matter what you're trying to do. You can Google it. It's called a Regulation CF offering.
Mhm.
And under Regulation CF, it's simple. They say you could raise up to 5 million. You could deal with as many people as you want. They could be accredited, which means wealthy, or non-accredited, not so
Mhm.
wealthy.
Mhm.
And then they could all throw in their money, any number of them, and collectively, that whole group is going to own the film project.
Gotcha.
So then you would say, oh, you all can own 100% of it until you recoup your money. You recoup your money, then it's generally 50-50, which is a normal Hollywood style partnership. So that would be really cool to say, wow, Jason, he owns the film with his fans. It's
Mhm.
him and the fans, they own this This could be great. It could be $100 million movie. You want to do a dramatic thriller in Trump's backyard in Palm Beach,
Mhm.
and you're going to kill a bunch of loathsome people that played a role in the death of Jason's father?
Mhm.
And knowing that the brand has been hugely successful for 40 years, where Jason gets revenge for his mother? Most of the stuff I sign says I killed for mommy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, to so-and-so, to Robby, I killed for mommy, and then my name and character.
Oh, that's great.
I'm determined to do this. I'm determined to make it a big success. And yes, I thought to have a book get launched in front of it could really set the stage for a successful film enterprise.
Mhm.
They're projecting now the book is going to be a bestseller with Amazon. Can you imagine? We could sell millions of copies of the book, and now people are really ready. And
Yeah.
as I said before, no Jason has ever written a dramatic thriller book. And while the brand is on hold, this would be fantastic if Jason makes his own damn movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, since you just brought that up, what do you feel about the brand being on hold right now? I know there's a lot of speculation on like copyright issues and things like that.
I think they're out of their mind. I think they're out of their mind. It's the most successful brand franchise. There's no iconic hero like Jason.
Mhm.
And what do you think? You want to put your brand on hold for 10 years?
Right. Right.
Nah, that's stupid. They are so lucky that they have a huge toy business that's pushing it. The young people love these Funko Pops, the way they collect them, the
Mhm.
NECA toys. Oh my God, there's been successful books written to the Peter Brocky book. Everybody gets a hold of that damn book, then they come to all the Jasons to get it signed. All the characters that make up the brand.
Yeah.
And they
Yep.
get everybody to sign the book. So there's a huge force behind the brand that they should keep it going.
Mhm. I totally agree. I
You
think it's
can't
silly.
just lose your momentum by 10 years.
Yep. No, 100%. I think it's silly that there's all these arguments about it,
And
and
whatever the argument is, resolve it. Just
yeah.
resolve it. Come on.
Yep. I
Be
agree.
thankful that it's been so successful. Resolve it and move forward. And then be very creative on the next one you're going to make. Try to make it unique or
Mhm.
my
Well,
film is kind of like Alfred Hitchcock meets Quentin Tarantino and Warrington in
mhm.
Palm Beach.
So is the character in Bloody Social, is it actually Jason Voorhees or
No,
okay.
no.
I just
His
wanted
name
to check.
in the story is Jason Livingston.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's a suspenseful, thrilling murder mystery in a world of wealth and privilege.
Mhm.
It's loosely based on a true story. Twists and turns, secret lies, life and death, revealing the lengths people go in this protected fairy tale world,
Mhm.
which, by the way, would be hated by most people in America.
Mhm.
It's the island of the super rich. And then I love to say this, it's where the blackest hearts shall thrive,
Mm.
and where the white sandy beaches and the beautiful blue waters of the Atlantic are about to run blood red.
Oh, I like that. Now, what do we think, like, as far as your projected timeline, do you have a rough estimate of when you want it to get into production on the film, or are we just waiting out the book release first?
Well, let's let the book release, and
Mhm.
then you'll put that money together. But as soon as you get the money together, you would need about 30, 60, 90 days of pre-production.
Okay.
And then the actual production, you'll knock that out in like 45 days.
Okay.
Then you knock that out, and then you plan your release.
And you'll be promoting the book, in your
The book,
upcoming
and here comes the movie. Oh
mhm,
yeah,
and that'll be for
that'd
your
be very
upcoming
cool. And Jason's fans, and it'd be nice to put a chunk of them in the damn movie.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're great scenes. There's great footage going all around. Love to have them in it. Love to have them in it. Love to have them as partners. It would be great.
Well, this is a good segue for the last thing that I wanted to bring up for you then, because you are doing some appearances, and I want you to not only plug your website, plug the appearances, and let people know where they can meet you, talk to you about this, and you'll be promoting Bloody Social at these appearances and all over your website and stuff like that, so fans can get a first look from you if they come and meet you at a con.
Well, the first thing I can say is that it would be great to have your folks. They can follow me on my Instagram page, Jason2 Warrington Gillette, Jason2 Warrington Gillette, and then I keep making promo clips wherever I go. I would say for the rest of this year, the big spooky season is October.
Mhm.
You're going to have some horror cons along the way. I'm doing one in, I guess, Iowa. But the big one that I'd have to say that everybody will know about, Monster Mania.
Yeah,
Will be a lot of fun in Baltimore. He's going to have a big Jason reunion, Monster Mania, and it falls on Friday the 13th.
of course it does.
So that's kind of cool. Monster Mania, Friday 13th. And the other big one that you're going to absolutely have a great time at is Spooky Empire. And that's coming in Orlando.
Yep.
And
That's a
that'll be
huge one.
at the end of October around Halloween time. It'll be his 20th anniversary. He's going to have Freddy Krueger there, a bunch of Jasons there. And now because of the actors' strike, you're going to have a lot of other actors that are all looking to do this because they're out of work.
Oh, okay.
So look, the guy's 20th anniversary in Orlando. Come on. And everybody's outside. Everybody's, rolling around in costume. What do you call that? Cosplay, whatever they're doing.
Yep.
You'll pull 20, 30,000.
Mm.
So that's the spooky time of the year, Spooky Empire. We're going to love Monster Mania up in Maryland, a Jason reunion. We'll have some other ones along the way. They're just, I can't believe the depth of the market because every time you turn around, there's another horror convention.
Oh yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And you probably will be adding more and more as the weeks come on. So do you want to plug your website so people can go and check out, updates on where you're going to be and on the movie and the book?
Yeah, I make an effort to give some really glorified shout outs, some glorified promo clips. Some of the cons say, look, slow down because you're outdoing the con. Just go easy here. So I'd make a really cool shout out. I got one I'm doing in San Antonio. A guy's launching a beer. I think it's called Killer Beer. So they want me to come San Antonio and do that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Then I think a couple weeks later, then we're going out to Iowa.
Okay, and that's
I'm not sure, but that'll be up on the Instagram. They'll see it.
Okay. All right, awesome. Well, I mean, I got to say this was fun, and I'm glad we finally nailed it down. And I will be pushing it out there to all your fans, and we'll let them know about Bloody Social, and hopefully they'll all jump on board and follow your Instagram for all your appearances.
Yeah, no, we're ready to go. We'll do another announcement with you and your group that hey, this offering is ready to go. So in the meantime, they can keep getting bulletins from us on Jason2 Warrington Gillette.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'm deeply grateful for all of the appreciation, all the support, all the followers, on that social media site and all the wonderful things they say. And then I try to keep coming back with fantastic pictures of a lot of these fine folks.
Yeah.
Looking their best, looking their scariest. And the kids are really the best. That I really get excited.
Yeah, the little kids that go to the cons dressed up like Jason, it's insane how many of them do it and know who Jason is and love him. So that's really cool.
And I say to the parents, I say, now I hope your junior here hasn't seen Friday 13th. No.
Yeah.
But they love the character anyway. We love Jason anyway. And then I say, well,
exactly.
who's your favorite Jason? You are. And I go, all right, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Unbelievable. One artist could have a fan and they have not seen your work.
Yeah,
that doesn't apply in sports and music and somehow this character, I suppose because of the effort of everybody, they're going to love you whether they've seen it or not.
Yeah, Yeah, 100%. Jason's
Well, I'm
iconic.
flattered. What can I say? I'm flattered, and a big thanks to everybody.
Well, thank you for being here on the All Bets Are Off podcast for your first time. I appreciate your time. And yeah, we'll have you, send us a little clip or something before the launch, and we'll splice it into some episodes to help promote the book and everything like that. So
And we'll keep you posted with it's getting bloody. Here we are. Jason's coming. He's coming.
awesome. Thank you
All
again.
right, my man. All the best. Have a great summer. The rest of
Hey,
summer.
you too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.